going on, guys? It's your boy Sleazy here, and I've got a funny one for you. In case you've missed it, they're rebooting Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You know, the two spies, assassins that were married to each other and find out the whole plot, people trying to kill them, the whole works. It was actually a fantastic movie. Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, when she wasn't as weird. Now she's completely fucking weird. But anywho, digressing. Yeah, they're rebooting that and turning it into a series because 2024 remake everything. But it's 2024. You can't just remake everything. You've got to gender swap it and race swap it and diversify it because modern audiences, because that's going so well for all these companies. But as it turns out, Brad Pitt was like, "Yeah, don't ask me for advice. Fuck this show." Paraphrasing here, but let's go to the article because I laughed at this one. Donald Glover reveals Brad Pitt's lackluster advice for Mr. and Mrs. Smith reboot. Anywho, in the era of reboot and remakes, one more TV series has joined the fray in the form of Amazon Prime's video, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Fuck you, Amazon. Based on the 2005 action drama film of the same name, the show leans more towards the comedic aspects of two spies having to pretend to be married and heavily relies on the chemistry between leads Donald Glover and Maya Erskine. Because he would be playing the role first popularized by Brad Pitt, Glover reached out to the actor in order to get some words of advice on how to play the role, but revealed that what he received was lacking a bit in substance. We'll get to the quote in a second because it's going to be good. During a recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, Glover revealed that he reached out to Brad Pitt once he booked the role of John Smith in the hopes of getting some advice for the character. I mean, at least he tried. At least he tried to make it like the character, even though we all know Amazon's just going to put some bullshit into it. However, it turned out that Brad Pitt didn't have much to offer Glover, as he explained. Brad Pitt was like, he just Brad Pitted his way out of it. I was like, I just need some tips. And he just charmed his way out of it. He was like, "Oh, you'll do great, kid." That kind of thing. He doesn't give a fuck about this show. He does not care one bit. He probably thinks this is the dumbest reboot anyone's ever done. It doesn't need a television series. Glover continued stating, "I mean, he was very, very sweet and nice, and that was very helpful. I just wanted to get a good understanding. It was great. He gave me good advice." Despite not getting the exact advice he wanted from his predecessor, the original and the only one that should exist, Glover did enjoy making this project, which comes as a bit of a surprise considering his opinions on reboots. The money's right. These people will do anything. That's a fact. The people in Hollywood will do anything for money. And I'm sure Glover has done a lot more than he's ever willing to admit. I'm not a big fan of remakes, so this was kind of a big deal to kind of take it on. Once I saw the original, I was like, this is a good date movie. Maybe I can make a good date show out of it. Like, something me and my wife could watch together. What? It doesn't need a remake. How many fucking times? 99% of these shows that they're remaking don't need a remake. It does nothing but destroy it. Glover went on to explain that a lot of his and Erskine's performances was actually by their individual marriages, which is why their pretend marriage was so realistic. I don't get why they need to make this show of all, like, this thing's what, 20 years old at this point? Why do you need to reboot why do you need to reboot? It doesn't need a reboot. It doesn't need a continuation. It doesn't need anything. And on top of that, you're just throwing in now diversity hires for the sake of the show. Like, what the hell is this? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think Donald Glover is a terrible actor, but why accept this role? Like, you could do so much better than fucking Amazon's reboot of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Why this? Why'd you say yes to this? I'll say it again. I think he's a good actor, but he takes these shittiest roles. Like, why the fuck was he in Star Wars? Like, okay, I take that back. I know why he was there. He wanted to boost his acting career. Well, look where that boost got him, because the new Star Wars is absolutely trash. and now he's on an Amazon reboot for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I think what video did I say that in? Actors go to Disney to end their careers. I don't remember what video that was. If you remember what video I did that in, put it in the comment section. Made way too many videos. I'm gonna keep going though, but I just don't get it. I really don't. But it's like this isn't the only thing, right? We get a Mr. and Mrs. Smith remake, and now Marvel's talking about bringing back Thanos. Like they know they're killing these shows, and the only thing they have is to live off nostalgia. Like, why would you? Do they have so little that they can't do anything other than bring back characters they killed off because they realized it wasn't the right thing to do? Like, killing off Thanos had to happen for the movies to continue. Like, I get that like the ultimate finish was Thanos dying. But bringing him back for what? There's so many other characters, and I get that Marvel's just turned everything into the MCU, so nobody wants to watch it, and they have nothing to go off of. But really, going back to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I don't know. Maybe someone disagrees with me. I want to hear that in the comment section. Just leave why you think this needs a reboot. Why this reboot of a one-off movie needs a television series. Like, you could have done anything else. And I feel like they're just grifting off the name and the old goodwill the movie had, that it was just a good movie. Because all these shows have done nothing but destroy everything. But again, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. While you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. Until the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.